Just making it here to the job of the day. This morning we're back here continuing the rock path. We have a long path that leads all the way around the fence line of this property here. First thing we're actually going to be doing is we're going to dump those plastics right there on the driveway so we can set them up all along that grass. The reason for that is we're going to be passing with the Mini all the way down there, bringing rock all the way to the bottom. We still have a little bit of rock left. That's basically what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be spreading the remaining rock that's there. We have the bigger shovel there for the Mini. I just have to disconnect this grapple off of it. The guys already finished all the wood around it. If you've been keeping up with the videos, you know that we're going along this fence line all the way around. The guys were setting up a bunch of borders with a bunch of wood that we had from the shop. I'll show you guys in a sec once we go down there. But right now, like I said, we're gonna dump the plastics there on the driveway. We're gonna get that all set up, and then I'll connect the shovel up to the Mini and we'll head down there and I'll show you guys exactly what we're gonna be doing today. Got all the mats set up. We try to space them out just because we don't have enough to make it all the way to the end, but we should be fine. The ground is pretty hard and the Mini isn't really going to cause too much damage here. Let me walk over here to show you guys a little bit of what we got done, and then I'll head back over there to connect the shovel up. So if you guys haven't watched the previous videos, we actually made this border from logs that we have at the shop. We cut them in the sawmill. All these posts all the way along this leads all the way across, basically follows this fence line all across the property. We also placed all this rock here. In the first videos, this was all dirt. If you guys would have watched that, all this was complete dirt. I brought rocks from up there, set them here, and we went all the way around. I'll connect the shovel up, then we'll take some rock all the way down there. I'll show you guys a little bit more of the path. But you can see the guys are actually basically done with the border. We made it all the way to the end. Like I said, I'll show you guys in a sec, but we made it all the way to the end. We just got to nail them down a little bit, and then we got to finish up with the rock. The rock up there is actually just to do one last layer on top of this. Since we've been passing with the Mini across all the way to the bottom, it's gotten a little bit dirty, so we'll put one final layer just so it looks clean. But let's head over there, connect that shovel up so we can start knocking this out. Fill up the shovel too much because then it's too heavy for the Mini and we're gonna end up going forward. That's why you guys won't see me fill up the shovel all the way. the shovel down, we would be able to fill it all the way to the top. But once we get to this fence, it actually doesn't fit. So we got to lift it all the way to the top and watch out so we don't go face forward and end up messing up the fence or something. So we're actually trying to fill in this hole first before we start doing that final layer. So we're gonna start our first top layer from over there and just see how far we can make it. You can see this area is pretty low, so we're gonna need a good amount of rock here. There's a small patch there that needs some rock, but all this should go into here. I'm gonna go continue bringing in rock, and that's basically what we're gonna be doing today. But you can see here, the guys actually did a really good job with this border. They got this bend looking really nice. It goes all the way around. I think it looks really good. You guys tell me. With the rock, it looks really nice. The customer is super happy with it as well, especially since all these logs were actually from the shop. We just cut them up with the sawmill, so it's basically all recycled wood, and then we put a little bit of, I want to call that maybe a varnish or like a protective layer, gave it that nice color to it, and then we're just going to continue on, leaving one final layer of rock, making it look really nice. And then the customer might want a little bit more rock, so it lifts it up, but that's all the rock we have for now. So we're just going to extend that today, knock that out today. They're going to finish putting the rest of the nails up there. They got a couple that they got to put. It's going to take me a while to make it back down here, so I think Louise is going to continue working on this while Danny just spreads out the rock. It's going to take me a really long time to make it back down here, so we're going to head back over, get another shovel full, and we're just going to continue knocking this out until we're done for the day. I think this curve right here looks really good, especially with the color of the wood. Really completes it. But let's head over, start getting some rock so we can hurry up with this. All right, so we're basically done with this circle. Louise is just filling in that area that needed a little bit. Now from here, we're gonna start at the end of it and just come down this way, making sure everything looks good. Doesn't all have to be fully leveled up to the top since we don't have rock, but we have to make sure if there's any patches or anything like that, we gotta make sure there's rock on there, and we gotta clean up the rock, just making sure everything looks good. Like I said, we don't have much rock, but we should have enough to at least pass one small layer, maybe all the way down to there, but we'll see how it goes. So this is where we're going to be finishing at. You can see the guys already have a border here. That's all ready. Got the shovel already. This is already pretty high, but I still want to put a small little layer. And then Louise is actually going to get the blower to try to clean up some of those leaves and a little bit of branches that there is, just so we can have a nice layer. And then at the very end, we're actually going to pass the blower one last time and make sure everything's nicely cleaned up. Like I said, it doesn't have to reach all the way to the top since we don't have much rock, but we do want to make sure it's nicely cleaned up and sort of leveled all the way through. There's a couple really low spots, so we want to make sure that those are at least leveled somewhat. But right now what I'm going to do is actually drop this rock, and then I'll set up the camera on time lapse, and you guys are just going to see us move, I'm guessing, all the way up to that fence, and then I'll most likely bring it back, or we're going to continue a little bit further. We'll see how long it takes us to even make it up to that fence, but let's dump that rock so I can head over and get another load. right, let me catch everyone up on what's going on. So I knocked out basically this full pile of rocks. All I have left is this final pile that I'm actually going to use for the start of the trail where the mini's entering. It's leaving a little bit of a mess, so we could use that just in case we need it. I also have the shovel all full. This I'm actually going to take to a low spot. Danny right now, he's passing through the whole trail, making sure everything is flat, moving the rocks around. Just where the mini was passing by, it flanned it out too much, so he's loosening up the rocks so it looks nice. Louise is actually passing the blower right now through the whole trail, getting all the little bit of garbage that's there. You could see that I was basically able to get the top layer, but some of this mess still went with it. So Louise is over there making sure that's all cleaned up. What I'm gonna do now is I'll take the mini over to the low spot. I'll take a rake with me so I can help Danny out. I'll show you guys exactly how far we made it to. A bit more rock, but with the amount we have now, we were able to make it to the end and cover the area up nicely, so it looks really good. It's a bit dirty, that's why Luis is over there passing the blower. I'll walk over there and I'll show you guys how the path is looking right now, but I think it looks really good. You guys let me know in the comments how it's looking, but let's take the mini, grab a rake, and let's go help Danny out right now. You can see where the guys are. We're basically almost to the end. This is the final stretch. We still have maybe, I want to say about an hour before we have to head back to the shop. So I'm gonna move this. This was one of the low spots. We have that one there. I'll move that out the way, and then the next thing you guys will see is us fixing that final piece and putting that last layer of rocks there. Before we put that final piece, I'm actually gonna walk down there, make sure everything looks good, because Louise is basically done with the blower, but it's all looking really good. You guys could see we flanned this out. Well, Danny really flanned this out. I was just on the mini all day trying to bring all those rocks over, but Danny did a really good job of flanning out all this area, leaving it all nicely cleaned up. All through here, these had a couple low spots that we cleaned up. All this looks really good, especially after we pass the blower. It looks really good. We're gonna walk all the way to the bottom, and then we'll walk back and we'll start putting that final piece on. In my opinion, I think the guys did a really good job on this path. The rocks look good, the borders on the side look really good, especially with that color. I think it makes it pop out a lot. The customer is super happy with this job, and I think once he looks at it and sees that it's all flanned, he's going to be very happy with it. Right now, like I said before, we're going to head over to the start of the path so we could get a final piece on it like this, just to basically end it. It's already made, everything like that. We just have to place it, put a couple nails on it, and then we'll flange out where the mini was passing by, put a little layer of rocks, making sure that looks all good. But we're basically set here for the day. We're gonna go knock that out, and then we're gonna load all the plastics up, and we're gonna head back to the shop, call it a day. We're all done for the day. We got this final piece on here. We spread out this rock, left that all nice. The gate closes fine. We spread the mulch out, making sure that's nicely cleaned up. We might have to put a pile of brand new mulch on here just so it looks good. Luis right now is finishing with the plastics. I think he already put most of them into the truck. All that's left now is to grab all the tools, grab the blower. We're gonna head back up to the truck, get everything connected, and we're gonna head back to the shop, call it a day. Just making it back home. It was another long day, but we managed to get the whole path all done. We just gotta go back now to make sure that wood chip area is nicely cleaned up. But we're all set for the day. I want to thank anybody who took their time out of the day to watch the video. Any questions, any comments, any tips from me, leave them down below. Catch you guys next time.